long time ago, on a YouTube channel far, far away. I'm Tenime. This is Threeps. Welcome to Master Debater, the show where we discuss opposing views on all manner of nerdy topics. The rules, as always, are as follows. That's worded really awkwardly. No biting, no hits below the belt, and only one your mom per person per episode. Today's topic, if you haven't guessed by my very awkward and obvious lead-in,
Babylon 5.
Battlestar Galactica. We're doing another Versus episode. Today, two movies from a franchise that we both hold very near and dear to our hearts. Yes, including the prequels and sequels, which will be a future episode. Today, we will be talking about our mutual love for Episode 4, A New Hope, and Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, and why we prefer one over the other. I will not ever disagree with the fact that Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars movie in the entire franchise. Though if Mandalorian were a movie, not a TV show, I would say that Empire's got some competition. But Empire is the superior movie of the 11 films. Rogue One Solo? Any more spin-offs? No? 11. 11 films.
It's more like 9. I mean...
9 in the Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
But... You like Rogue One and Solo?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Like
I'm just
Rogue
saying
One
that like that.
Yeah.
What would that... I don't even know what that would be. What's 9?
They're spin-offs.
What would 9 be is in Latin? Or
Nonology?
Non?
I don't know. Yeah.
Quadrilogy's 4.
Right.
Sin...
Quintilogy's 5.
Quin.
Right.
Hex would be 6.
Hexology?
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 Hexology? Whatever.
We're just going to spend the next 20 minutes trying to figure out what 9 films are called. That said, clearly, if I'm the one leading in and saying that I do still think that Empire is the best movie, I prefer New Hope. To me, it feels like the most complete movie. While, yes, it picks up in the middle of a chase, in the middle of a story. And it does give some kind of potential for a sequel. It does feel like it has a definitive beginning, middle, and an end.
Well, Lucas didn't necessarily plan on making sequels. He had the idea and the hope to make them.
Yes, yeah.
But he never thought Star Wars was going to be what it was.
It was not completely planned out like he claims.
Right. Yeah, so he didn't...
But there was still a plan-ish that...
Right.
There was more mythology that he wrote down that he wanted to incorporate that didn't make it into New Hope. In fact, it wasn't... If you're a nerd half your salt, let alone a Star Wars fan, you know that it was not initially called Episode 4, let alone A New Hope. It was just Star Wars. They didn't add on the Episode 4 tag or the subtitle New Hope until the year before Empire came out, and they re-released it to theaters with the new bit in the scroll. But it just... Whether there was a grand overall plan to do more or not, to me it feels like you could just sit down and watch it, and despite wanting to see the better movie after it, or the further adventures of all the characters, or where they came from and who their parents were, it's the most complete film that doesn't need to. I love Star Wars very much. I gotta brand new Orabesh tattoo that says "This is the way." And no, I didn't want to get it in Mandoa. Something about the alphabet didn't look right to me. But I don't want to insult any of the other movies by saying that they have to lean on other movies, but some of them are a little awkward to watch if you don't watch the preceding or the following movies in succession. But I feel like New Hope is one where you don't need to watch Rogue One before it. You don't need to watch Empire after it. You can just sit down and watch it, and it's a complete story to me. We don't need to see Luke as a little kid. We don't need to see how Han met Chewie. Again, huge fan of Solo. I've got Kira's Crimson Dawn tattoo where she had it in the movie. And
I had to beg him to go see it at the premiere.
Fair.
He's like, "Oh, I don't want to." Blah, blah, blah.
I was
We've seen almost every Star Wars movie midnight show. Well, they don't really do midnight showings anymore, but at the premiere,
yeah.
Why not this one?
I
don't know.
I was very apprehensive, and I still. While he did a phenomenal job, and I do really enjoy his performance, I still have issues with Alden Ehrenreich not looking enough like Harrison Ford to be a young Han Solo, and that kind of is the only thing that ruined it for me. And then once I saw it, and then the more times I watch it, I love it more and more every time. I have multiple figures of Chewbacca from Star Wars Black Series, but the only one that is in my display that is not in storage is the Solo version. I like the bandolier and the goggles and his weird little bangs, the haircut. But we're not talking about that. New Hope. I like New Hope better than Empire. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that as a kid I wore out the cassette of the score, where it was half the movie on side A and the other half on side B, and you had to flip it over, and the first track on side B was Leia's theme, so it's like I could probably hum the entire score right now. Let's do that. 2 hours of me humming the John Williams New Hope score.
Go ahead and start that, and I'll blow your brains out with my penis.
Prostate gun? I just wanted to work prostate gun back in. We've said it twice now, so I wanted to make it a running gag. It's the most quotable to me. Yes, even over some of Yoda's gold in Empire. I would say Empire absolutely has the best Yoda dialogue, bar none. I don't know, just everything about it works for me. Even the special editions, and which can be blasphemy to some Star Wars fans. There are no prequels or sequels, and there are no special editions. Obviously, I prefer most of the theatrical stuff. What's funny is, in terms of special editions, I prefer the 1997 theatrical / Laserdisc / VHS / DVD. I think they didn't change it until the Blu-ray. The Jabba the Hutt scene. The CG looks better. The 1997 CG looks better than the 2005 CG. Not to mention, he looks more like the character. Like, compare the two right here, and the original CG Jabba looks more like the puppet in Return of the Jedi than the Blu-ray CG Jabba, where he looks too CG, and he looks like he's covered in moss. And while he looks like the same species, he doesn't look like the same character in the slightest. And despite that scene being completely redundant to the scene that he has with Greedo, where, by the way, Han does not shoot first Han shoots only.
Well, the whole Han shot first thing wasn't until the prequels, or not until the prequels. Wasn't until the special editions.
Right. So that's absolutely one instance where I prefer the theatrical over it.
McClunky.
Oh my God! Yeah, quick tangent. Voodoo, despite Disney Plus having the McClunky, Voodoo changed my digital copy of New Hope because I was watching it with my mom a few weeks ago, and they said McClunky. I'm like, I did not redeem the digital code for the McClunky version, but apparently them changing it on Disney Plus changed it across every other streaming platform. But I digress.
That was the last thing
McClunky.
George Lucas put in, actually. That was part of his... Maybe I'm wrong on this. This is what I've heard. That was part of his agreement when he sold it, that they had to put McClunky in there.
But Tenime, the end credits scene of season 2 of The Mandalorian, spoiler, had McClunky in it. And yeah, I didn't like it when I heard it there either. So, it sounds stupid. It doesn't sound like an alien word. Like the alien languages in A New Hope are phenomenal. Like, whatever linguist came up with those, they did a great fucking job. McClunky is not good. But we're not talking about what sucks about it. We're talking about why I like one better than the other. It's not McClunky. But like, you know, I love the dewbacks and I like the Ronto, and I don't mind the rocks hiding R2, and trying to think of other... Wow, I'm drawing a blank. I hate...
Oh, the weird droid.
What?
Where he punches the little floating droid.
Okay. Gotcha.
He's got a number, I can't remember.
There's more.
And I'm sure there's tons of... Oh, the explosion. The explosion is terrible.
You guys aren't Star Wars fans. You don't know the differences between theatrical and special edition.
We just named all the... No, the explosion's the worst in that. At the end.
I will still take the prequels, the sequels, and the special editions of New Hope and Empire, which special edition Empire is fucking phenomenal.
They didn't change anything. Really. They changed Ian McDermott.
Over Clive Revel.
Yeah. They added some scenes in Cloud City.
And they added the full body Wampa.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And the best part is that they actually gave Cloud City windows. Like, because if you watch the theatrical version, like when they're walking through the hallways, there aren't really any windows, but they cut out sections of the sections of the wall were already there if you watch the theatrical version, but they cut the sections out digitally and actually put like backgrounds outside the windows, which is amazing. But my point was, fuck Return of the Jedi Special Edition, and it's not because of Yubnub like most people. You know, they hate the new song, which I like seeing more worlds, especially Coruscant. You know, before the prequels, that was cool. Obviously, I don't like Hayden Christensen replacing Sebastian Shaw. That makes no sense whatsoever. I do agree with erasing Sebastian Shaw's eyebrows, because a burn victim wouldn't have those giant fucking caterpillars on his forehead. It's Cy Snoodles. Puppet Cy Snoodles will always be better than CG Cy Snoodles. And the new Max Rebo song in Jabba's Palace is fucking garbage. Jabba's Palace is like my favorite part of Return of the Jedi. I really, really liked the speeder bikes growing up, but Return of the Jedi was the first Star Wars movie I ever saw. I saw them out of order, and Jabba's Palace is my fucking favorite. I've got like all the Lego sets that they released for all the Jabba related shit. I think I'm missing the skiff with the Sarlacc pit. I've got the palace stuff. I also don't have the giant sail barge, because that was like $600 and 4,000 pieces. Not that I have a problem with putting 4,000 pieces together, but I've got the palace. I've got the palace and the Rancor pit.
Stop yelling. Sorry.
Return of the Jedi Special Edition sucks because Cy Snoodles shouldn't be CG, and that stupid little furry fuck that runs up and yells in the camera where you see his uvula wiggling is fucking terrible, and I fucking hate it. Though the new dancers are kind of cool with the Twi'lek and the Rodian and whatever the hell that other chick is. I don't know.
I'm sure she has a species,
Of
but
course, I mean,
Star Wars, of course she does, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
I like New Hope better than Empire.
This fucking asshole keeps stealing all my shit. What am I gonna do?
Just do the same stuff. I'm trying to create consistency that we're both doing it now.
No, that's my. Come up with your own thing. I'm yelling at him and shit. Come on. I like Empire better. Okay, bye.
Like, comment, subscribe, share. Wait, don't go. We're not done yet.
And we're back. Okay, so if you didn't figure it out yet, prefer Empire Strikes Back.
Like most Star Wars fans. You're not unique. You have no identity. Sorry, continue.
Interrupting me. Actually, no. You know what? I'm not even going to say it.
Oh, no, what? What? I want to know. I want to know.
So, I'm waiting till I get a new TV before I watch all my favorites movies. So, like, I'll watch the whole Star Wars saga and many, many more. But I want to wait till I get a new TV and get 4K versions of as much as I can. But Last Jedi is close as being my favorite.
Really?
Out of the whole saga, yes.
Wow. I don't hate it either.
But we are not getting on that fucking table.
And the comments explode.
Original trilogy, I will always one of those
Yes.
three will always be my favorite. It's impossible not to be for me. Just purely out of nostalgia and practical effects and quality and everything else. But on another note, to me, Empire Strikes Back is a pretty, I don't like to use the word because I think it's just a shit word, but perfect. Not just a Star Wars movie, not just a sci-fi movie, just a movie in general. I can't think of anything that I don't like about it, besides maybe a scene or two that might drag on a little bit too long. But
About the timeline.
what do you mean?
The fact that the timelines conflict with Luke training on Dagobah and them being in Cloud City, because either they're in Cloud City for months and months and months, or Luke only trains for a week and a half.
I don't really see that.
Okay.
mean-
I didn't either, but like I've watched some videos and read some articles recently where people are just like, they don't add up, and I'm like, what?
Well, first of all, when you're dealing with sci-fi and Star Wars, it's not always the most scientific. Like Star Trek tends to be a little bit more scientific as far as what, physicists and astrologists and all that have actually figured out about.
Astronomists.
Huh?
Astronomists.
What did I say?
Astrologists.
No, I didn't. Did I?
Yeah.
No. I'm not talking about Sagittarius and shit. Astronomists.
This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
Copyright strike. So it tends to be a little bit more like feasible, realistic, whatever you want to call it. When you're dealing with planets that are in different star systems,
Seasons.
huh?
You've got the summer planet and you've got the winter planet.
That's you got the forest, a planet that's entire forest. Doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense either.
That's the moon, you plebe.
It's still whatever. Time doesn't really make sense because if Luke's on Dagobah and they're on in Cloud City, who knows how far apart they are?
Right.
And if you look at the universe, galaxy, whatever you want to call it, as of right now, most likely those planets are hundreds, if not thousands, of light years apart. And I don't know how the whole light speed, hyperspace timeline works in Star Wars, because it's called light speed, it's called hyperspace, but if you just travel at the speed of light, which is theoretically impossible, it would still take you hundreds of years to get from planet to planet. So there has to be some sort of wormhole. And My logic is that light speed is like a nickname for their...
Like how parsecs are a unit of distance and not...
Well, they kind of fixed that in Solo. I still didn't really get it, but...
He takes a shortcut.
Right.
So it's a shorter distance because he takes a shortcut.
Right.
So yeah.
But yeah, as far as timeline goes, that's how that works. You can't factor in timelines when in space. We don't really understand it. They certainly didn't understand it in 1980.
Well,
and Luke maybe Luke only did train for a week.
Right. Well,
obviously he ended it soon, and a typical Jedi training would be decades, probably.
Right.
You know.
Well, he's too old.
Right.
You know, it starts when you're a kid.
Well, they said Anakin was too old.
Younglings.
Well, they said Anakin was too old at
right.
what, 5 or 6, or is he 8?
He's 9.
He's 9.
He's 9.
Yeah.
He's 9 and she's 14. Like in the Weird Al song, The Saga Begins. That's the easiest way to remember it.
I love Weird Al.
It's a storytelling device that, you know, everyone criticizes, which I have my own criticisms of the final season of Game of Thrones, but everyone criticizes the whole teleporting going on in the season because and they're not teleporting, it's a storytelling device where you don't sit there for every second of the journey. So,
oh, you mean how like the armies just all of a sudden showed up and it didn't really make sense?
Or so in season 1 it takes Arya months to get from King's Landing to the Wall, but Daenerys goes from Dragonstone to the Wall overnight. But it's not overnight. Like
to us it is.
Right, but it's a storytelling device to keep the story moving and not show that it takes a month to get there. Plus you don't know how fast dragons fly. But in defense of Luke being on Dagobah and how long were they being tortured in Cloud City, it's part of that storytelling device where you don't have to show your characters going to the bathroom or eating their meals or sleeping or picking their nose or, you know, reading a book. Like, no one wants to watch all that shit. So it looks like Luke only trains for a week and a half, because if we watched Luke train for months, that'd be boring as fuck.
Well, I think they leave it up to the audience to understand, to grasp, whatever you want to call it, that it's not a week and a half, that it's longer than that.
But then you get
when
the
you
people
see him
saying,
progressing,
right?
You know.
But then you get people saying, well, then were they spending months on Cloud City? Like, how long did it take to fix the hyperdrive? How long into their stay there did Vader show up with the stormtroopers? How long did they torture them? Were they torturing them for a week and a half, or did they torture them for 3 or 4 months? So I think it's less to do criticizing how short of a time Luke spends, whereas you can give them the benefit of the doubt that Luke spends months, but then you're also saying that Han, Leia, and Chewie and 3PO are spending months in Cloud City. And I think that's the problem that people have with the timelines not adding up. But like I said, it's that, with linear storytelling device.
Plus time travel. Or not time travel. Traveling from planet to planet.
Right, okay.
Maybe they were only there. Maybe it was vice versa. Maybe they were only on Cloud City for a week. Luke took months, but with the distance. And like I said, I don't know how long it takes to get from planet to planet.
Well, how long does it take to get from Hoth to either Dagobah or Bespin? Like,
right.
You know, so maybe...
Well, Bespin had to be relatively close to...
Because they had no hyperdrive.
They had no hyperdrive, okay. And then they said, what's nearby?
Right.
And they were able to find Lando. Lando system.
See, I was trying to... I was trying to make the argument in the reverse, saying that it took them longer to get to Cloud City, so Luke was training that whole time. But no, you're right, because... Well, maybe it did take them longer because they didn't have...
Like I said, it's hard to say when you're dealing with time in a space movie, because we don't technically know how it would work. They certainly didn't know in 80, you know?
Yeah, 1979.
So, but yeah, I'm lost now where I was going.
Sorry.
Because you threw me through a loop.
Sorry.
Anyways, and just all the stuff with Luke and Yoda. I mean, how can you not love Yoda? I mean...
Like I said, it's the best Yoda that we get in the whole saga.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and just the fact that he's supposed to be this Jedi Knight and you're, looking for a 7-foot tall, godlike, whether it's an alien or a humanoid or whatever.
Yoda?
And he's...
You seek Yoda.
And he's, 1.5 feet tall and green and cute and...
That little butt when he's digging through Luke's... Fine, or help you not, I will.
And the Luke Vader fight scene is so awesome, especially compared to A New Hope, which Lucas would probably even say it's weak.
It's the Vader Obi-Wan fight, the New Hope Vader Obi-Wan fight is the worst. It's absolutely the worst. It's the worst beam effects. It's the worst choreography. The Vader Obi-Wan fight in Revenge of the Sith might be the best.
No doubt.
Because that's fucking fun. Yeah.
And then just obviously, it's hard because we always knew. I mean, even not seeing Star Wars till I was 5 or 6, maybe 8, maybe 7. I can't remember.
12?
No, I wasn't 12.
32?
No, I'm only 28.
97.
Yes, 97.
Okay.
I always knew Vader was Luke's father, so seeing the movie for the first time, that wasn't, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Plus, as a little kid, are you really going to think that that's that? Right. I mean, I guess you would. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Like I said.
But can you imagine it being, you're seeing a new Star Wars movie and you hear that? Obviously, this is before internet, so unless you're like Homer Simpson and spoil it for everyone online.
Well,
but and hearing that, like that.
Return of the Jedi was my first Star Wars movie, so I already knew by then, like there was like I kind of already knew Yoda. I didn't meet him because I already knew him, and I already knew but
yeah, I mean, to me it's perfect, and that's that, I guess. I'm just trying to. Obviously, there's going to be 8 bazillion reviews you can watch on it that they're gonna go 2 hours deep into why it's awesome, but that's me in a nutshell. I'm trying to think if there's anything like unique that I like about it more so than other people, but off the top of the old noggin, I can't think of anything.
Fair. We both love them. We love both of them. You can say that either way, and it's still true. So.
Your mom's still true.
Your mother cannot.
Duh.
All right, so let's wrap it up here. Empire's better. That's all we're gonna say about that. No, I'm just kidding. Totally agree with everything Dick Face here had to say about New Hope, but yeah. It's all objective, so.
Subjective.
Objective.
Subjective.
Your mom's objective.
Your mother cannot.
You can't do 2. You can't do 2. Your mom can't do 2.
Your mother cannot.
Or your mom can do shit. Bye.
Yeah, so let us know what you thought in the comments below. Do the YouTube thing, if you don't mind. They got guns to our prostates, so kind of hurts if you don't. Yeah.
It tickles me in a funny way.
Check out the check out the next episode on Tenime's channel. This face thing over here. Links in the description.
Your mom's in the description.
Your mother cannot.
Ha! I got 2
All right,
too.
Fine. We broke the rule. We each got 2 now. Shut up. Have a fan-freaking-tastic day. Bye.